Good morning. Peace and blessings. Happy Tuesday. All right, y'all. So we just had a Cancer new moon. This is, I think this is the most powerful moon, the most powerful new moon of the year. And the reason why is because America is a Cancer. America is in its Pluto return, which means that the original systems by which this country was started are deteriorating. It's, everything deteriorates. Everything comes to pass. Nothing is here to stay. Nothing is fucking eternal except the system, the system and how it works. It has proven some eternality because the system, when I say the system, I mean the cycles, right? Nature systems have a level of eternality and they are lasting. And the system that we have been in this country is deteriorating because it works against the natural cycle. So America is a Cancer. America's in its Pluto return. Pluto is destruction. Pluto is the devil. Pluto is the underworld. Pluto is the secrets, the shadow. And it's in its Pluto return in Capricorn, which is about authority. So that's the thing that's so powerful about this astrology stuff. I love it so much, y'all. Like, I literally, because it makes everything really clear for you so that you understand what's really happening. And what's happening for real is never what they're saying is happening. And I don't know, I can be all in my conspiracy theorist kind of mind if I wanted to and be like, they're working again. But maybe that's not the case. I don't know. I have no idea. But I do know what? I know that any human being, any living thing will naturally fight for power to survive. And the position of power has been in this system that works against nature. So it might be fighting for its life. I would imagine that it would, you know what I mean? But it doesn't matter. It's over. It's over. So they're going to, create all sorts of laws and things to scare people and to get people to behave certain ways. They've been doing this stuff. It doesn't matter. It's over because the frequency on the planet doesn't support that kind of way of functioning any longer. So if you just disconnect yourself from the old system and begin to move into a new way of being and practicing, if you just begin to shift your mind, like I grew up a Christian and I love spirituality. Like I'm nothing without spirituality. So when they gave me Christianity and I remember being like, oh, this is not right. But everybody else was doing it, so I had to do it. I was like 2 or 3 years old. You cannot hear me. Oh, that's interesting. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? If you can't hear me, let me know. And just sort of understanding that the spirituality is the core of this, right? The spirituality is the core. And so because the spirituality is the core, get to your original connection. Go back home, which is what this new moon is about. It's about going to the original home, to the truth of who you are. Today is an Aries day, and today is a Mars day, and Mars is in Aries. And Mars in Aries is really your true core identity. This is why I love this stuff so much, because even though, there's all sorts of this is bad and this is wrong and this is bad and this is wrong and this is bad, like all this sort of talk of what's wrong, right? But that's just people's interpretations from their own consciousness. The astrology is not gonna fucking lie, you guys. Nothing's wrong. I just want y'all to know that nothing is wrong. The system is coming down, but nothing is wrong. And people who are too focused in the system are going to begin to experience a collapse. And so you hear people, this is happening and this is happening. But when you are aligned into your frequency, the whole world can collapse around you. And you will not be because you are focused in your frequency. Haven't you seen images of towns where there was a tornado and a whole community of houses are wiped out, knocked down, and yet there's one over here that's standing and one of, because the frequency, the energy is what this is all about, y'all. This is not about this fucking bullshit that they got us thinking about. And the more we can put our attention on the truth, the more you feel your energy towards what's really real, what's really true, what's really going on. The cosmology is not lying. The cosmology is going to tell you what's true. So Mars in Aries is we are igniting our true identity. Why? Because Saturn is in Aquarius, and Saturn in Aquarius says who you are, your blueprint, who you were before you became your mother's daughter or son and your father's, before you adopted this identity here in this 3D reality. Who were you before that? You were something before that because energy doesn't die. You just transmute it from one way of being and into another. Who were you? Who are you at your core? Saturn in Aquarius. And then we have Venus. It was in Taurus, but it's now in Gemini. Venus in Gemini is what's, the story you're telling. You have to feel into who you are. You got to feel it. You have to be able to feel the essence of who you are. This is why when people say they are in a man's body, but they feel like they're a woman, because that spiritual energy is not is not congruent. So we have to feel who we are as much as how we think who we are. The two are, and if the two are not congruent, that's not a bad thing. That just means that you're having a different experience in your own humanity. But you have to honor that inside of yourself. That's why we can't tell people who they are and how they feel. If they say they feel like a man and they're in a woman's body, they fucking feel like a man in a woman's body. If they say they feel like a woman, because it's a real thing. The sensory energy is real. You cannot see it. You cannot, but it is a real thing. It's why you can taste and touch and hear, and because sensory energy is a real thing. Like your breath, like your physical body. It's just a different energetic system. But it is valid as anything else. And so we've got to be able to identify that stuff on our own and understand how it relates, because you are the commander-in-chief of your system. And we get all these stories and narratives that would have us think that it should be this way or that way, or this is right or this is all. That's bullshit. All of it is just subjective ideas. People's opinions. They do not matter. They matter absolutely not at all. And so, Venus now in Gemini, your mind, the perception, and the body connected. One and the same. Or one and not the same. Really, that's the first concept of separate but equal, right? Because if your mind and your body are not congruent, which is what we see with people who are having this other experience of their sexuality, they are equal, but they are separate in their identification, and that is real. Okay, so the last thing is Neptune is going retrograde today. Oh, I honor that. I honor Neptune going retrograde today. That class Our first live class is going to be in about a week. And if you want to get in that class, it's going to be a powerful class, because the subconscious is the creator of all things. The subconscious. And if you cannot program your subconscious, you have to really do the work to clean it up first, though. It's literally piled up with all sorts of ideas and identities from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. And we turn it off and we forget and we don't remember who we are. And so we get here and then we adhere to this nonsense, to this foolery. And then we get it here and then we don't feel good. We're depressed. We're sad. We try to do all the things to make ourselves feel better, but that doesn't work because that's not real. It's not real. It's all misaligned. So the Neptune is about re-identifying yourself. And so Neptune is in Pisces, and Neptune is in its domain. It's in its domicile. It's home in Pisces. And what is that? That is the core of our imagination. It's our dream self. It's the magic, y'all. It's the fucking magic. It's how we bring this shit to reality. And so we have to do the work. We have to do the work to catch the vision, to devote ourselves to what we are. We have to devote ourselves to what we're up to. We have to devote ourselves to it in ways that the universe cannot deny what it is you're up to. In ways that the universe, you have to send a signal so clear to the universe of who you are, that the universe says, all right, we gotta build that reality, because that is the frequency that's being sent. You have to be so pure in your commitment to yourself and your devotion to yourself. Oh, I would love that. Okay, great. Let me see. Okay, perfect. I think I did it.
Yes!
Hi!
Yeah! What? Oh my God, I've been hiding from Instagram. Everyone's going to come on this live now. Oh my God. I've been gone for like 7 months. Now all my followers are going to join. I just know. But anyway, I don't care. You're amazing. You're amazing. You are amazing.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm so good. What you said was so true, me mama. I had to shed all my addictions. Every single one of them. For real this time.
Right, yes.
And I went really hard first. I mean, I would call it not self-sabotage, but I went hard first.
Yes,
I went so hard first. I think I overly intoxicated myself like I've never done in my whole entire
I understand. Because you had to really go out really far to see how far away you were from yourself. You had to experience it viscerally.
Yeah.
So that you could then know where you need to really come back to. Tell me, what's your sun sign?
Okay, so, and in this so-called Western astrology, Libra, but apparently in the Draconian one, I'm a Gemini.
Okay, yeah.
Scorpio moon and Sagittarius rising with a Virgo Venus. Oh, Lord help me.
Okay, that sounds great. So I hear you though. So what's your intention for this Cancer new moon? Like, what are you holding for yourself?
Okay, so what I'm holding for myself is that I am actually removing any blockages to do with love. My heart chakra is now opening. It's opening because I'm now choosing responsibility in terms of, if I make a choice, I'm not going to give somebody else my power now and say, oh, they did this or they tricked me. No, I trust my heart enough to know that I was guided to experience this for a reason, to enjoy, whether it's for good sex or whether it was for something to just show me my value. I'm now no longer procrastinating on building up relationships within, the ones that are within myself. I'm setting the intention now to truly go in, all the way in, and opening my heart, and no longer allowing my childhood trauma or what my mum didn't give me, or
Yes.
what my
Yes.
ex-partner was supposed to give me, or what I'm
That's
giving all
right.
those things to
Okay, great.
myself.
So let me have you give you some things. So some things that can support this, right?
Thank you.
Cacao. Cacao is a heart opener. Have you heard of cacao?
I make cacao chocolates for my children. For me, I make
Okay,
cacao tea.
that's right.
I put it
Okay,
in my
great.
smoothies. I love it.
That's right. So cacao. So that is a physical thing you can take to open your heart. And then one of the things is just be like, allow yourself to absorb the sun, because the sun is the heart of our universe. The sun is the heart of our universe. So when
Yeah,
you're out in the sun, imagine your heart just drinking up the light of the sun.
thank you.
And
That's what I'm
oh,
feeling.
it's so powerful. And
Yeah.
when things come back up, because things
Okay.
don't just go
Whew.
away, when things come back up, be grateful for them.
Okay.
Don't push it away. Just be like,
Yeah.
oh, thank you so much that I got
Yeah.
that lesson. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for teaching me. Like I said, what came back for me, which I thought I had got rid of, was my addictions to drugs, right?
Yes.
And I'm talking about all drugs, by the way. I'm
Yeah.
not talking about your regular, people think drugs and they hear, oh, they think cocaine, yeah? No,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about, I was a original crisp addict. I would go to sleep with crisp in my mouth and wake up with it because I'd fall asleep eating that. I was
Wow.
addicted to junk. My drug is
Yes.
sugar. And I
Yes.
overloaded on that. And I mean, everything. Then I was drinking alcohol. I never drink, but I was
Wow.
drinking like, I can't tell you how much I was drinking, but it was a lot.
Yes.
And just
Yes.
having like mad sex with my partner, who, by the way, I
Yeah.
got rid of a week ago. Not got rid of,
Yes.
but I had to say to
Yes.
him very nicely, this is finished. When I'm with you, I don't feel good. I feel like I'm intoxicated more.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you're part of that because your energy doesn't match mine and I'm trying to force it. So
Yes.
what happened, I'm glad to see you all too. I told you they're gonna come. But
Yes.
what happened was I had to do that. It had to come up
Yeah.
to show me that actually I'm still not genuine within myself. I'm not
That's right.
genuine.
That's right.
I'm
It was
not.
it was you were it was tucked away somewhere. It wasn't, you weren't
Yes.
completely finished with it yet. You were building a foundation, but in
Yeah.
order for your foundation to be really strong, you have to really okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It's a beat. Okay, good. Okay. You have to really, in order for your foundation, you have to really face it in a profound way. You have
Yeah.
to dive into it face on. You got to face all the fear. You have to look at it. And sugar, let me tell you, sugar is a main. Sugar is
Yes.
how.
Yeah.
Woo, that I
Oh.
literally, I
Oh.
felt myself
Oh.
rolling. I had gotten really, really good, and then one day, and it comes. Sugar comes in a lot of ways. Bread,
Everything.
pasta, all
Right.
that shit is sugar, and it gets in your
Sugar.
body, and
Right.
it turns you against yourself.
I'm telling you that. That's what I was doing. Oh my God. It was like the more I had, the more I wanted. And the more I intoxicated, it was like I
Yes.
felt shit about it.
Yeah.
And it was like a vicious cycle. So then I'd drink
Yes.
something to forget about it. Then I think, oh,
Yes.
let me have sex with my man to forget about it. Then I resent him because I didn't really want him. And it was
That's
like,
right.
no, you've got to make a choice. You have got to make a choice now. You have got to make a choice now, girl.
Girl.
You got, and then my body, my physical body started
Yes.
actually showing me signs of wear and tear, like really
Yes.
quickly. Like normally I could do that stuff and get away with it, but this time it was like, mama, no, no, no,
Yes.
no, 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 no.
Yes.
You're doing too much now. So
That's
I
right.
had to. Once I cut the tie,
Yes.
I detoxed. I went into myself and
Yes.
I detoxed like nothing. I'm telling you, like I literally had
Yes.
free away everything in the cupboards.
Yes.
And I went on water and just
Yes.
smoothies and juices. This is what I do. This is what I do for a
Yes.
living. If
Yes.
I'm helping others, I need to
Yes.
do it for myself.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's
Wow.
I feel really, really good. And you know what? He messaged me today, which is so cool. He said, "Hey, Heaven, it seems like you've really upgraded without me." And he
Yes.
said, I think you're still great. And he said, "Always forwards, backwards, never. I'm sure we'll meet
Yes.
again." And I
Let me
was
tell
like,
you, let me say this. Let me say this, right? It is so important for women to understand why we need to dominate our system,
"There's okay
right? We
then."
need to dominate our system because we generate the reality. So the
Yeah,
world is why it is right now because women have not been dominating our own systems. We have
yeah,
been subject to the external reality. And when we're
exactly.
subject to the external reality, we cannot command through the power of love in our heart what it is we actually desire. So we do things that give us the sensation of what it is we want, but it's not
Oh,
really the thing. It's not
oh,
really what it is, because
no,
what
it's
you
not.
really want is to know your divinity and your connection to God. You want to, because
Right.
you are, and the channel between your breath and your heart, your
Yeah.
between your this gland and
Yes.
then this
Yes.
gland and your
Yes.
heart and your
Woo,
pussy and your
I'm
solar
telling
plexus
you.
is the energy that channels this God power. And when we are relying upon external things to make us feel it, our power is not real yet. And so
It's
you
not.
have to really, really get yourself into it. And this is why I do the moon work, because it's
Yeah.
easier, and it's easier to get to it when you do it incrementally. But some of us need
It
to
is.
go hardcore.
Woo! I'm
But
telling
when
you,
you do
and you've
it
helped me, by the
incrementally,
way. You
1 month
have helped
at a
me.
time, it's
You
a
have helped me
different
so
thing.
much. You've helped me so much. I literally had to come out of the country. I live in London, but
Yes.
for the first 5 months, I have been in Caribbean and Africa. I said, fuck it, I don't give a shit, right?
Yes.
I was like, I'm going, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
go, and we're gonna go and
Mm-hmm.
heal. But
Yes.
imagine the time I said we're gonna go and heal, I was like, that's when I was going in. That's when
Yes.
I was in those hot climate countries. Instead of using that time to detox, I was using that time to intox. But it's fine because I needed to do
Yes.
that. I
Mm-hmm.
needed to do that. And then my
Yes.
father, he passed, and he lives in America. They wouldn't let me in because I wasn't vaccinated. So
Wow.
for the first time in my life, I've never been a medium. I helped him cross over
Woo.
spiritually. Like I actually was there with him, and I helped this man to cross over. This 60-year-old man, I saw his 6-year-old boy self dancing like
Wow.
I am free. I'm
Yes.
free. And when I saw that, where he went to this place that had 4 purple suns, 1 golden sun, and it was so bright, and he was so
Um.
free. And he straight away started partying, because my dad loves to party.
Yes.
He didn't even waste any time. He was like, oh my God, it was that quick? Oh my God. He was like, what? I didn't know it would be this quick.
Wow.
As soon as he accepted, because I couldn't go further with him. I was like,
Yes.
Papa, they won't let me go further. This is the line that I can't go. You have to go the rest of the
Yes.
way now. And he didn't want
Yes.
to go. We both cried, and then
Mm-hmm.
next thing you know, I just had this relief. I don't know how to explain it. This lightness within me. No more mourning. I never mourned him after that. It was
Wow.
pure rejoicing. And then that's when the real journey began. And I had to.
Yes. Oh, oh, see, I just, a white butterfly just flew by me and
Oh
just
my
danced in front of
God.
me. It's so incredible, because that's the thing. I remember when my mother died, I
Yeah.
felt her take something with her. I felt it. I was like, oh, like she took, because we carry this stuff for generations. And so those of us who don't have our parents here on the earth realm, we automatically get free from some of those patterns, especially during the time when they're
Mhm.
making their transition.
Yeah.
And if we can meet them in that space, they can take away a lot of the work, right? So when my
Yeah.
mother, that happened when my mother died, and I still had a lot of work to do,
Yeah.
because
Oof.
because we're at the beginning of a new age. So just
Yeah.
imagine if you just start kindergarten, you're going to go from kindergarten all the way. I don't know what the education system is in Europe, but
University.
right, but it's a process, right?
Yeah.
So this spirituality, this evolution thing is a process, and we're all very much at the early stages of it, and
Yeah.
we're going to spend the next several years waking up. Like, this Cancer energy is so important. This new moon, you guys, I was going to do a new moon meditation tonight, but I actually just am going to be with myself today. But I want to
Yeah.
say, you guys, set the intention. Look at your
Okay.
mothers, and look
Okay.
at where they were compromised in their power, or the story you tell that they were look at that, and then see how you can flip that on its side. Like, so I used to tell the story that my mother was weak because she would allow my father to abuse her.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and because I would
Yeah.
tell myself that, because as women we identify with our mothers whether we like it or not. You can't not identify with her. It's just not
No, we can't.
possible not to,
Exactly. Not
right?
possible. Yeah.
Because you grew in her womb. So
Right.
you have to look at the story you're telling yourself and then flip it. So the story I told myself was that my mother was weak. And so now it's like, oh, I'm so thankful and grateful that I live in the power of the feminine and that I understand, or that I, that power is magical, and that I'm strong, and that all things are working in my favor. And what I'm doing is just reprogram that childhood narrative about the feminine into something that's true during this timing.
Yeah.
During the time when the sun and the moon are together in
Yeah.
Cancer.
Oh, so powerful. So powerful. It's so powerful.
Yeah.
It's so, do you know what I did as well? It's so funny you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Naturally, today, I went and I just got loads of black bags, and I just started packing everything in my flat. I said, I'm
Yes.
starting to get. My grandmother told me that before I came here when my dad transitioned. She's
Yeah.
transitioned too. She came to me and she said, when you go back to London, you need to pack away everything and start from scratch as if you're just moving into a new house. She said, don't
Wow.
pack anything and think all this and that. She goes, no, just start again because you're a new person. And I didn't do it. It's been like nearly 2 months now since I've been back, but I started today. I started
Yes.
today, and I'm literally starting everything new, everything. My divine masculine and divine feminine within me is so
Yes.
happy right now. I don't feel like I owe anybody anything anymore. I don't.
That's
I don't owe
right.
anyone anything. I don't
You
even owe
don't.
myself anything, is what I'm saying. Like, even me, I don't owe me anything. There's no owing. It's just
Yes.
literally being present. Today I might
Mm.
feel like saying happy, but tomorrow I might feel like saying fuck you. It's all right. I'm still amazing.
Yes.
Like, today I might be crazy, tomorrow I might be calm. It's still
Yes.
okay. Like, I'm accepting every part of me. Every part of
Yes.
me. And
That's right.
I'm not
You
holding on to
get to
material.
accept and love every part of you.
Every part of
Every
me.
part of you. And that's the thing. It's like when we understand that all of us, every part of us is a part of the divine,
Yeah.
especially the divine feminine. If you are resisting any part of yourself, ladies, if you are attempting to make that's the shadow. That's what the shadow is born out of. This idea that some part of us is not good enough or worthy
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
valuable or any of that,
Yeah.
which is why I had to let go of that notion that because my mother had this dynamic with my father where they fought, that she was
Okay.
weak. Like
Yeah.
it's like, and even if and weakness is not wrong. Weakness is a part of our experience as well.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like to be able to bend, to be able to be like, it's all of it. It's like I'm weak
Right.
and I'm strong because
Right.
everything is in this thing. So it's like, don't allow your identity to get too fixed on anything, because the truth is
Right.
that you're divine.
That's the one. Sorry, can I just add? My grandmother also said
Yeah.
that to me. She said to me, oh, by the way, you lot in Earth are taking things too seriously. She said, you do realize that Earth's a playground to the
Yes.
leveling up. She said, you lot are like, oh, I'm African, I'm Christian. She was like, that's all bullshit. Like, she
Yeah.
literally told me that. She was like, that is nonsense. She said, you need to treat
Wow.
this place like a playground and have the most fun. That's all it is, fun and joy. Okay? Because she was
Wow.
kind of like, she was a Leo. She was very brazen when she was here, but she didn't really do the best in terms of
Yeah.
motherhood. And she
Yes.
realizes now that she said,
Yes.
listen, I know if I had what I know now, if I had done better, I would receive more blessings. She goes, I still have blessings though. She said, even though I didn't do what I thought I was supposed to do, I'm still good.
Isn't
So
that amazing? Ah, somebody here just typed in Geb. Yes,
yeah,
Geb, the ruler of the earth realm.
yeah,
Woo-hoo! I
yeah,
love it.
yeah.
That is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing. What's your grandmother's
Thank
name?
you. My Jocelyn.
Jocelyn. Let's call our
Jocelyn.
grandmother's names. My grandmother is Myrtle and Wilma.
And
On
mine's
this,
also Jocelyn and Josephine. And the two
yes,
of them.
Jocelyn and Josephine. Yes, we call their names. We speak their names, and we
Ashe.
ask for them to come and show us the way and make the path clear,
Ashe.
so that we may live into their true identity of who they saw us to be.
Right.
Woo!
That's
All
right.
right. Glory to
Ashe. Oh
God.
my God. Wow. Thank you
Ah,
so much. You've helped me so much. If you lot don't know about Moon Mama, you better go and follow her now. I've seen how all of you lot have jumped on here. I love you guys. I'm seeing your comments. Go and follow this beautiful, amazing woman. I've seen your journey from the bits where I love it when you're vulnerable. when sure, when you're very sure, when you're very unapologetic, and when you're also shy a little bit because you know you're looking fly and everyone's complimenting you and you're kind of like, oh my god, am I gonna go please? Like it's like I love it all. I'm just like, she's amazing. Because what you're doing is you're actually being authentic. You're showing your vulnerability, and you can give people like myself, who everyone thinks is so confident, the space to be, as you quoted, weak. If I want to be weak, I'm allowed to be weak. I'm allowed to be all of them things. And I just, I'm really grateful for you. Like, you're across the other pond, and you've done more than any, like, I can't even describe it. You know, thank you so much. Like,
thank
oh my
you.
God,
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Like, this is what I was born to do. I was born for this time. We all were. We were all born for this time to wake up. And it's about to get gooder and gooder and gooder. Watch, right? It's about, you can just feel, like, I feel so steady inside of myself. I feel my energies and my powers growing inside of me, and I'm just excited. So thank you so much. All right.
Thank you
I
as
love
well.
you. I'm about to go, y'all. I love y'all. Have a
love
really
y'all.
beautiful new moon. Have a beautiful
Happy new moon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay. Peace and
Ashe.
blessings, everyone. Ashe. Ashe.
Bye.
Bye-bye.